Hello, welcome to How to Automotive. Today's video is all about the Platinum Series Cornwell Toolbox, which is a brand new hutch that I just picked up, and the struggles I went through to install this on top of this box here. Okay, so this top here did not come with any instructions. It just came in a big shipping crate, and I went through some struggles. I made some mistakes on installing this, and I thought I would walk you through the process of installing this, share with you my mistakes so you don't do this and go through this. And one of the mistakes was I was anxious to get this on top, and I wanted to do it, and I had zero help, so I was a one-man band. This is, the shipping crate said it was 530 pounds shipping weight, so this probably is about, somewhere around 375 pound top here, and I was maneuvering this around by myself, so stay tuned for those struggles and come along with me. And hopefully you can learn something, and when you pick up a top like this for your box, no matter what brand it is, maybe it'll help you in the installation of the top. So here we have the top hutch, and I started unboxing or uncrating it last night and kind of going through the accessories and kind of getting an idea of how this is going to install on the box. And so it comes with the underhood light here, the hutch light, and it comes with all the brackets that mount up on the back here of the pegboard and stuff. And then it comes with the accessories to mount it onto the box. So one of the things we're going to have to do is take the stainless steel top off, and then the canopy sits on top of it, and then the stainless steel top will slide underneath it. So right here, this was mistake number one. So when I opened the crate, I saw this groove here, and I thought that bolted to the top of the box because I saw these bolt holes. So I thought there was bolt holes on the top underneath the stainless steel top, and I thought the top would slide into these grooves here and sit nice and flush around the canopy. But that turned out to not be the case. The stainless steel top was meant to stay on top, and the canopy goes on top of the stainless steel top. And let me tell you, this top right here is not light. It's extremely heavy. I had to maneuver it by myself just to put the movable charge station here so you can move it around, but it tucks underneath the box back here, or underneath the top. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to roll this box over to the hoist here and use the hoist to lift the top off the stainless steel top, because I'm by myself here. And then we're going to use the hoist to lift the hutch onto the top of the box. That's the plan anyways. Hopefully everything goes smooth. Another challenge I have is I'm not sure if the shelf is going to be able to stay here above the box here. So I'm going to mount it here and roll the box over here and see how it fits. I may have to knock this shelf down here and here on the corner here. So I got the box rolled over here in between the hoist here, and I'm going to lift the hoist up, and I'm going to swing the canopy over and put the hoist underneath it and lift the stainless steel top and lift the top off. The top weighs a couple hundred pounds, and it's really awkward, so I'm going to use the hoist to do the work here. Now that I got the top lowered down to the ground, I'm going to use a piece of the old pallet to transfer this over so I can drag the pallet around and get this out of the way for right now. Okay, so I got the top safely out of the way. So now what my next step is to do is to figure out how to lift the canopy up high enough where I can roll the box underneath and set the canopy down on top of the box. So the goal is I'm going to lift the canopy up on one side and slide it onto the arm, and then go over to the opposite side, lift the canopy and slide it onto the arm. I can do that by myself, and then I'll lift the canopy up, and then I'll roll the box underneath and set the canopy down on top of the box. See how it goes. So this is where I made mistake number two. There was a better way to lift the top hutch, and this caused a little bit of damage, and I'll share with you that in a little bit. The one thing that did work about it is it was safe and stable to lift it like this, though. Well, I got it up in the air. I thought I'd show you the inside of the canopy, show you the construction of it. It's kind of on the hoist here. All right, now the goal is to roll the box underneath and then drop the canopy down on top of the box. See how that goes. So this is where it got really challenging, was trying to get the canopy off the rack and onto the top of the box. So this is probably where the damage happened when I was taking it off the rack arms. So at the bottom of the canopy is a little flat plate where it mounts onto the top, and it's supposed to be flush, but it bent it upwards a little bit. So this lip right here at the bottom here is what got bent on the rack arms right here. It got bent upwards a little bit. So I got to hammer dolly that down flush as best I can before we install it. And this got bent on both left and right side. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is, you know, so you guys don't go through this headache. And also, I found a better way to lift the hoist is I'm going to lift it here in the middle, up here from the top. And then that way I'm free to maneuver it around and work with it. I'm trying to balance it on the canopy here. As you can see, it's floating. Everything looks good. Now we're gonna put the stainless steel tap back on. So as I pointed out, the stainless steel top is designed to stay on top of the box, but the charge station here is scooped underneath the stainless steel top and needed to be removed so we can put another bracket on it so it hangs on the back of the pegboard of the canopy. So we did have to pull it off to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the power outlet off the top of the top here. All right, so I just lowered the canopy back down to the ground, swung the arms in. What I'm going to do is going to get the top here, drag it back over here, put it on this arm here, lift it up, put it back on top, and then I'll swing the arms back into position. I didn't maneuver the adjustment on them, I just swung them in. So I'll swing them back into position, lift the top back up, roll the box back underneath, set the canopy back down, and that should be mated. Top back on. There is a front and a back, so it has an overhang right here, so you want to make sure you don't flip it around backwards. And then I got the power supply off the top here. So now I put the hoist back under the canopy. I'm gonna lift it back up, roll the box back under, set it down on top. And let me tell you, this went a whole lot easier with it lifting it from underneath like this. It dropped right on top of it with no problem. I was able to maneuver it around with no problem. It does mount on top, but it looks like you have to drill holes in your stainless steel top and then mount the mount bolts on it to secure it, because it slides around. You can slide it right off the back side of it. It's pretty loosey goosey. And then also, like, you'll flare it in just a little bit right here and squeeze it in so it's nice flush fit on the box here. On the same thing on this side, so you can maneuver it and squeeze it to get that nice flush fit. So I was lucky. I did not have to remove my shelves up here. I had just enough room to fit all the way across, the canopy all the way up, the door all the way up. So I'm stoked about that. So one of the things they want you to do is bolt the top down to the stainless steel top, which is I'm not exactly happy about, because that means I have to drill holes into my top, and you know, that's something I didn't really want to do. I think that's kind of a poor design. And when I originally put it together, I thought that this went underneath the top and then the top went on top here, but as you can see, it would be impossible to put the top on top of this bracket here. So I thought this bracket would be hidden underneath, but it's not. So here's a closer look at the damage that I caused here. If you look at the lip right here on that metal bracket here, it's bent up and it's not sitting flush on top of the top here. So I got to hammer dolly that all back down. So that's what I wanted to point out to you guys, is that lip right there is very fragile, and if you try to lift it up from the bottom, it's going to bend it upwards. So now I'm going to have to hammer dolly that down to make it flush as I can, or flat as I can, before I mount the top. Okay, here's some of the accessories that came with. This is the Hutch light here, which is pretty cool. I've tried it out. It's really awesome. So this is held on with magnets. It's set up where you can do it automatically, so it'll sense when the top opens and closes, or you can just turn it on. It's super bright. We'll get that installed. Here's one of the brackets here. This bracket here, basically what we have to do is take this bracket apart here and install this bracket here to install our power outlet here on the back of the pegboard. This used to be tucked underneath the canopy, and it no longer works like that, so we need to transfer over this bracket and hang that, and to get our power supply installed so we can get our light lit up. And then these are all the accessories for the pegboard, so you can hang whatever, wrenches and you know, different assortments. So these are all the different attachments for it. So we'll play around with that here and get that set up. And then this is the screws, self-tapping screws that you screw into the top here to mount the top to the top of the box. I ran across a challenge already with the bracket that we're supposed to mount onto the back here. So this bracket here is supposed to take place of the old bracket that went underneath here. And if you look here, it's supposed to have overhang. So the reason why is it has these lock tabs, and when you put it in, you're supposed to put it in and lock it on to the back of the pegboard like this. And so it comes with rivets. This is supposed to be rivet to the hole, but none of the holes line up. And then when you line it up where you can actually get in here and maneuver it, so it's equal on each side, so there's very little room to get the lock tab where to go. The lock tab to go in and operate it. So that right there is a problem. Then on the back side, to get the holes to line up that are already pre-drilled, you know, in the unit. So when you line up the holes with the holes that are pre-drilled in the unit, it's offset and it's flush over here, so that's not going to work. So if you try to center it, there's no holes for you to rivet the use the rivets to put it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple of temporary rivets here and here, 2 of them, hang it, call Cornwell and see if they can send me another bracket. I'm going to use a tool I don't get to use very often, which is my M12 cordless riveter gun here by Milwaukee Tools. It makes quick work of installing rivets. I mounted onto the pegboard. I got my overhead light that's just adjustable, so you can move it back and forth. You can put it in the back. It doesn't swivel like this or anything. It's fixed facing downwards, but you can see as bright as can be. I got a cord running over here. This cord here is to my refrigerator. This one's plugging into the light here, so I need to figure out how to tie this up. And then this cord goes to the outlet on the back side of the wall. So now I just got to figure out how to tidy all this up and make it look nice. Now that I got the light on, I can see, so now I'm going to make sure all my gaps are perfect. Go ahead and mount the screws in here and mount the top permanently to the top of the box. So I did a little pre-drill. Now I'm going to use the tapping bolt and go ahead and run it in. So you're going to drill and then install the bolts that it comes with. And you're going to do that around the perimeter. Now you got your pegs. So you're just going to individually take your bags out and set your pegs up. So the pegs just slide in to whatever position you want it. And you have the lock tab here. So you're going to install that at a 45 and then turn it. It's actually pretty tight, so you can either use a flat blade screwdriver or a pair of pliers. And turn it like that, and that locks the peg onto the board. Good to go. And you can set it up and design it however you want. Like I said, they have all kinds of designs for screwdrivers. I believe that's what this is for screwdrivers. They have setups for wrenches, if you want to put wrenches on the pegboard back there. So they have different ones. I'm not sure what every one of them is going to do. Different assortments of short and long pegs. So this one here is for just a lock ring, they call it. A ring hook, they call it, so you can maybe put an impact tool or something in there. Different assortments of pegboard. So stay tuned for a full toolbox tour coming soon. I'm Brian Esser from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Encourage you to subscribe. Invite you to head over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this. Thank you again for watching.